doing?
you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm Liz.
Zach.
Hi, nice to meet you.
You as well.
How are you doing today?
Doing good. It's been a good day, last day of classes, so quite happy with it.
You ready for finals?
I am ready for finals. Only have one, matter of fact.
Only have one?
Yep, and it's optional, so.
Wow, you're pretty lucky.
Indeed.
Wow. Well, I just wanted to take a few minutes today to go over some pointers I had for the issue of texting and driving.
Okay.
So first, I wanted to start out with kind of a random question for you, but do you drink and drive?
I don't.
Okay. Have you ever done it before?
I've done it once or twice maybe when I was younger.
Okay.
Foolish.
All right. Well, how do you feel about drinking and driving?
I don't like agree with it by any means. I was a passenger in a horrific car accident, near fatal, and that was just under nothing. So drinking and driving,
Okay.
no need.
Well, I completely agree with you. And how would you feel if I were to tell you that studies today show that texting and driving is just as dangerous, if not more, as drinking and driving?
I don't know. I mean, I would say that they could be. It all depends on when you're texting, or I don't know. And just yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Pretty much when you're texting.
Okay.
I think it's a generalized claim. It can't be too true.
All right. Well, first let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about texting and driving, some of the studies that we've seen in it. With texting while driving, statistics.com is where we get this evidence from that we see that 28% of car accidents today are from texting and driving. Does that statistic surprise you in any way?
I mean, it's a little surprising, actually, but I guess people just don't know how to do it, or
Right.
or maybe it is, but I just don't really see it that way.
Okay.
It is surprising, yes.
Okay. Well, it also says on the Governor's Highway Safety Association that 30 states so far have banned texting, not including South Carolina. So, do you think that's a high number? Do you think that it should be illegal, or that we should try to keep it close to a minimum?
I guess if a car accident was and it was quite severe, but then it's the problem of how you level what severe is. But if the accident was bad and it was solely because of someone's incompetence to text while drive, and that caused it, then that should be of higher, I don't know, maybe, I can't really complete that thought right now. But yeah, I don't know. If texting while driving is causing accidents, then it is obviously a concern, but
Right.
it just it's never seemed that way for me, because I don't text while driving.
Right.
I also have the iPhone, so that makes it a little more complicated. And I think that might be a possible
contributor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess what I wanted to ask you is, do you text and drive?
Yeah, I do it here and there. I try and do it at just red lights and stuff like that, just because I can't feel any numbers, obviously. But
well, texting and driving is pretty much at its peak right now with people doing it, and it's becoming more and more of a problem. And one thing that you just mentioned, that you have one of those touch phones, which is another contributor to a potential accident, because it basically forces you to look down at the phone. So would you agree that the touch phone gives you more potential risk to get in a car accident?
yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay. And speaking of car accidents, you mentioned that you were in a really, really bad one before. Has that affected you and how you drive and your safety precautions?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's like, I was 30 seconds away from dying from the car exploding, and I was pulled out. So, and just from someone's stupid driving, is it really worth it?
Right.
So that's the way I feel, and I drive safely because of it.
Right.
But yeah, so it's definitely changed me.
Right. well, you do agree then that texting and driving is dangerous, but to do it at, say a stoplight or something, that's fairly easy to do.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would say that, the majority of texters do tend to believe that is a good argument to just text at red lights and, do it kind of at the minimal time. But, I would say that even at a red light, you're not really focusing on the light itself. You're not really seeing when it's turning green or when to go, or you may just kind of just end up going without really paying attention to the road. Does that ever, worry you?
Not too much. Just make sure my foot's on the brake.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I know that it's pretty impossible to get the entire population of people who text and drive to completely quit.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty unrealistic, and it is a multitasking thing. So, would you say that you are a good multitasker?
Yeah, I believe so.
You're a good multitasker. Okay. So far it hasn't, caused any problems for you at all. Okay. Well, have you heard of this new phone app called Drive Safely?
I haven't.
Okay. Drive Safely is released by iSpeech, and it's basically an app that you can put on any type of phone that basically reads your text messages out loud to you, as well as emails. You do not have to actually text, you can just hear it. So you've never heard of that?
No, I haven't.
Do you think that idea could very well help people?
Oh, absolutely. I've always thought something similar to that, like how Nextel phones have the walkie-talkie feature.
Mm-hmm.
If you could just have a feature on your button that ran a program like that, where you could just pass little messages like that and you didn't need to type anything.
Okay.
So yeah, I really agree with that.
Well, this is a fairly new idea. This was also on the Texting While Driving Statistics website, that they're trying to find new ways to get people to, at least in some ways, slow down, because it is unrealistic to believe that everyone's going to stop texting and driving.
Yeah.
But for you, just you alone, you are capable of saving yourself and potentially another vehicle from getting in a car accident. And especially with your past history of car accidents, it's definitely for you, mentally and emotionally, to make sure you drive safe and not to do it again.
Yeah.
So, would you also make it a point, do you believe that it's better to pull over for a text message in case it is an emergency?
I mean, I guess if you were if you knew something really, really important was going to happen and that your response to the text message meant not someone's life or death, but something serious like that, then that would be one circumstance. But I don't know. Considering most text messages that I receive aren't really too important and don't really have a time limit where I need to respond back at a certain time to them, I can just sort of take my time with it.
Okay, so do you agree then that text messages are not something that you basically have to do while driving, it's just something that you choose to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think we would be able to agree that it would be safer to pull over and answer a text message if it is an emergency or to wait on it?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay. All right, so what I'd like to ask then was, would you be able to tell me if you would be willing to either start from now on pulling over in case there is an emergency text message that you have to reply to, or you can do something like if there's a passenger in the car, hand them the phone and then ask them to text for you, or you can even look into further information on the Drive Safely app for your phone, especially since you have a touch phone, which could be even more dangerous for you.
Yeah.
So would you be willing to look into those things?
Yeah, I would be able to look into it.
Okay. Well, do you have any questions for me?
I don't.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
You as well.